Okay, May 21st. May 21st, 1961. President John F. Kennedy sends 300 US Marshals down to Montgomery, Alabama, to protect the Freedom Riders. The Freedom Riders, in that summer of 1961, or spring and summer, um, took to the buses to protest the non enforcement of the Supreme Court rulings that had basically said that segregating on buses was illegal, unconstitutional, and they had to segregate the buses. Now, many of the riders of these buses were from the northern states. They were white college students and were down there protesting the segregation and protesting in support of civil rights. And so many people in the South felt like it was these northern agitators who were down there getting people riled up. And so on May 20th, this group went down there and they joined John Lewis and Hank Thomas. Now, John Lewis, at that time, obviously was a young man. Well, today he's serving a 17th term in Congress from basically Atlanta, that Atlanta district area. So Congressman Lewis, at that time, not a congressman, was part of this thing. And so when this bus arrived in Montgomery, it had a police escort basically up to the city limits for state police. And then once it hit the city limits, the state police left because it was a city thing. The city didn't protect them. When they hit the bus station, there's a mob waiting for them, and they beat them with baseball bats and rocks. And the white agitators were particularly singled out to receive the heavier beatings. So the next day, they protested to the president because the governor basically said he couldn't do anything, and so the president Kennedy sends down 300 U.S. Marshals. The governor eventually calls up the Alabama National Guard to protect the civil rights protesters. But so anyway, that's what I have for today. 1961, President John F. Kennedy sends U.S. Marshals down to Alabama to protect some of the Freedom Riders. I will see you tomorrow.